Welcome to another webinar of GetCast Now, the business of the business, with our very special guest, Lev Harvey. Ladies and gentlemen, Lev Harvey. Yay.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you for joining. So we're gonna look at your networking sheet and maybe talk about your 4 hours a week, which I think is the important stuff that we should do on these webinars. But I want to just re-encapsulate the conversation you and I had yesterday about your new agent, Stacy Lamondola, who is freelancing. So why don't you recap where we stood before yesterday?
Sure. So before yesterday, in terms of like our conversation of, how that proceed. Okay. I had been doing these events for a while, as a lot of actors do, of meeting people. And finally I got a bite and an offer to freelance, which was really exciting and it was awesome. So I got the offer, I reached out and confirmed, and then I didn't hear anything. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh God, should I follow up, or am I going to be that pushy actor that they always talk about? Like, please leave me alone. So in true fashion, I was like, Bruce would know the answer to this.
I would that. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, if ever you got a question, ask Bruce. And at first I was hesitant. I was like, oh, is this a silly question? But then I was like, if I'm thinking it, I'm sure other actors might think this. So yeah, I guess the question, thank you for making time, Bruce. The question was, what's protocol here? Is there something I need to sign because it's freelance, or do I just go about my business, wait until I hear from her? Yeah.
And then we talked for a little bit, and so this is a general answer, and then it's also a specific answer because I know Stacy really well. So freelancing means, hey, I will send you some auditions. I really like you. Let's go. It does not mean we're signing a contract, which would be a contract that would get signed, right? Hence the term signed. So your question of like, why did my email go into the netherworld of, nothing, which is what we all have to deal with as actors, right? You rarely hear no. You just hear the yawning void of nothing. So your question was really good, I thought. No, you're not expected to hear something back. Yes, you will sign someday, but it's really going to be after you have some auditions, you get some callbacks. This is commercials, so the currency is callbacks. And then probably when you book something and start making some money, that's when the contract comes out. But I thought it was an excellent question that a lot of actors probably have, right?
Thanks. Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, I don't want to ruin this good thing. Did they get it? And you're going through 100 different scenarios in your head of what could have happened, versus most likely what did happen. And then just going about your day, business as usual.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wanted to get that out there. Caroline, I know you've been through this yawning void of...
It happened to me today. So this was great for me too, in terms of I'm freelancing with a new agency as well. And they had said, okay, the other agents in the agency want to meet you over Zoom. And I was like, great, here's when I'm available. And then no one answered. And then I hadn't gotten an audition in a couple of weeks. And my mind went to worst case scenario. I'm like, they hate me now. I don't know. I did something. I'm sure that's what it is. And no, then I emailed today and I was like, just wanted to check in, see if anybody wanted to meet. And they were like, oh, I thought somebody had reached out to you. Oh my gosh, it must have gotten lost in their inbox. So it's usually, I try to remember that it's usually fine. Like everything is usually okay. I'm the same way. I'm trying not to go to the fear space as much and just be like, it's fine. We're fine.
That fear space it's very there for actors, and you want to stay out of there. But it's hard. It can be really hard, especially when you don't want to screw it up. But
Excellent. Yeah. And speaking of the fear space, that leads us in a nice segue into our 4 hours a week, right? Because if you're sitting there wondering about what should I do about this email, or should I get back to them, or why aren't they calling me? The best answer to that is get busy. Get busy doing something else, right? Because waiting is just breeds fear, breeds nothing helpful. But action always breeds something. Well, not always, but in this case, the 4 hours a week do. So let's talk about your 4 hours a week, Lev, young Lev.
Yeah, taking that stress and putting it into productive things. So yeah, 4 hours a week. I've been utilizing the contact sheet a lot. And it wasn't until I met you, Bruce, that you added probably a key ingredient in that is that the 3-month rule. I don't know how much I'm supposed to say about your.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay,
no,
but
there's no secrets. We're not hiding
giving the
man
ingredients
behind the
to
curtain
secret
or
sauce
anything. No, not at all.
So I had the names and everything, and you said 3 months, and I said, what? And you said 3 months. Every 3 months, you gotta keep in touch and put that date there of the last time you contacted them. And that holds me accountable, I found, because as I go across it, like there are more people I'm friendly with that I'm more, I'm willing to send an email, and other people that I'm like, more hesitant, I guess, around. And then, the day comes when I got to send that email to the people I'm hesitant about. Yeah, that is really fun. I like that because I think as actors, we can be so passionate and so disorganized. We don't know where to put that passion. So we can work really hard on something and it's not really getting us anywhere. We're just kind of running in circles. So
cool.
I like going down very methodically, one by one, and cranking them out. And I'm happy to say they're all up to date.
Good. And let me jump in and ask, when you're sending an email or a postcard to these agents and casting directors that are well tailored on your networking sheet, what are you saying, right? And this leads to our other 3 hours of the week, right? The peer coffee, the writing your own.
Yes.
And yep.
That is another thing you taught me, that in that first sentence, what to say, which is, I have done this. I met this person that really get right to it. Because just previously as we were talking, they're not like actors where they're going to read a long email with the whole schmooze and everything. Like, no, get to the meat and potatoes and stop wasting my time. So yeah, I every 3 months, it's also about finding a piece of currency to have. It's great when I have something that I'm working on. Obviously right now it's more rare. I did wrap up a show and I had that recorded. So that's what I sent out. This is my work. This is what I did. And I guess in 3 months, I'm hoping for.
Of course, I just got a knock on my door. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Arrived. Please go on, Lev.
Yeah, so it's finding pieces of currency that and putting that in the first line of, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm working on, this is who I met. Yeah, just so they are aware, like you said, Bruce, that when they assume they see your name pop up, oh, he's doing this, he works, she works, they're doing this, they're meeting the right people, they're controlling that 10% that is like within our control as actors, and they're going to work.
It's like we were talking about with commercials. Just checking in is death. But we were talking about with commercials there that the currency is callbacks, right? I mean, you should book, you should make money, but that is, everybody knows that is way out of your control. What is in your control is show up and do a really great audition so that you get callbacks. If you're getting callbacks at 80%, you're fine with your agent. You're gonna book. Everybody knows it. It's great. So that's the currency of what you're doing. So that's really great to hear. What about the other 2 hours a week? Peer coffee or working on your monologues or songs?
I'm in a scene study class. I've been in a scene study class for a while, and those people are my peers. So absolutely. We regularly Skype or FaceTime, and it's great just because it's very cleansing, because it's awesome to be around friends, but also just talking artistically, and some of them are painters, and another one's starting a podcast, and they're all, I don't know, doing these other avenues of art and media, which is really cool to hear about, and also hear like, when's the next episode coming out? What are you doing?
We talked to Savvy last week, who's in a different world these days, and that's great to hear. And the things we talk about here are applicable for a whole different, world of artistic endeavors, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I could do a better job of casting a wider net of who I'm talking to, like just colleagues that you've been in like a theater show with, and you really hit it off, and just they kind of just go into the void and you don't speak to them again. Yeah. So I guess that would be one thing I would want to continue going forward, is just reaching out to that person that I don't know what's going on, but I would love to rekindle our friendship.
Cool. Let me just check in with Caroline, because Caroline, you have a really great peer person that you speak to. How's your peer coffee going?
Great. We met actually, Lev, speaking of, going to these agent meetings, we met, taking a couple of classes together at one-on-one, and really vibed just off of our work ethic. And yeah, I'm probably going to talk about her every week, because she really holds me. She was the person who actually held me to reaching back out to that agency this week and just double checking about that Zoom. So yeah, I feel like I'm like, wow, I really owe her. I'm like, I'll thank you in the speech one day, because it's like really, like, she really pulls her weight. Like,
that's good. The Oscar speech. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. All right, Lev, and last but not least, your other hour of working on monologues or songs. How's that going?
It's going good. I that was one thing in quarantine I was really trying to do, is just read, like, focus on one playwright and just go into that world. So I'm currently in Sam Shepard. I never got into it. I've seen it done a lot. So yeah, that is a interesting world. It's going good. So yeah, I'm always reading plays. I'm actively looking for monologues to do, I think, as every actor is and should be. I do have a few off the top of my head that are like, I can drop right in. It's funny, I remember in drama school, like, everyone would be like, I have 12, I have 15, I have 20. Whereas like now I think it's just like, just get 2 really good ones that just, and good
maybe 3 if you want to drop in a Shakespeare or something classical, but a comedic and a dramatic, and you are ready to rock at the drop of a hat. Because think about it, when do you use monologues? When do you ever actually use monologues? Theater companies, sometimes an agent audition, one-on-one actors connection, sometimes. But those are the only times you're ever going to use a monologue, other than, you like to work or you're working in class. But usually you're going to get a scene. They're going to give you material.
They want to see how you can respond to what you can't prepare for.
Right?
which is fun and delightful.
But you have to have them ready. You have to have 2 or 3 monologues ready. Songs, if you're a legit Broadway singer, you have to be ready to rock. And they're also really good to use for your reel. I saw your performance of the Dybbuk, which was excellent, and liked. I thought you did some monologues in there that you might be able to use for a reel going forward if you wanted to. And we emailed about it, and you're not sure if you want to do that, but I liked some of that and thought it was really. It was good work from you too.
Thanks. You think it would be good on a reel? I know it might be.
It's interesting. Cool. It was you being really interesting in a character you could play. Boom. Boom. Done. You know what I mean? That's what you want on a reel.
Yeah. And it's one thing to find a good monologue, but it's another finding a good monologue for you. Because it's a good monologue. It's a good writer, but if it's a good monologue for you, it's a smart actor that they know.
Yeah. Othello. It's a really good part written by this guy, that everybody thinks is a good writer. Is it good for Bruce right now? I've tried Othello a few times. Never worked for me. I don't feel it. It's just me. I feel Iago sometimes, but I haven't really felt Othello. So you have to find the monologue that's right for you. Yeah, absolutely.
That's interesting, because I have one that I've been using since my college auditions, which I've been a little self-conscious about, but I've now I'm actually the right age to play the role. And I've been self-conscious about using it, but it's one that I just feels like me. So now I feel a little bit better about still using that, because it's just one that I still feel like I can connect to.
And you're the age the character is in the play. That's the universe saying it's coming your way in the realm. It's coming.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love it.
Cool. Anything else that we should be talking about in the Lev world right now? I know you're doing a lot of stuff and working on a lot of stuff, but anything else we should check in on?
Not that I'm aware of, no. I've been writing a lot and making videos and.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the 4th hour. Hey, I wrote this. Yes, the 4th hour, writing and creating. Yes, sir. What's going on?
So I've really this year, I've like really been pushing myself because we got the time. We got the time now as actors. So do it. And we're funny people. If you think something is funny, do it. So one thing I've been doing is just, especially in New York, just like social things and little things that happen that I think are really funny. I'll make a note on my phone and then I'll go back and just say, take out your phone, click record, and just start and just see what happens. So you set the circumstances, and I think I've been really surprised with how much I can just surprise myself. And if I have a rule, if I think it's funny, I'm gonna post it, and it's gonna be maybe a little weird, and not everyone's gonna like it. But if I like it, it's my point of view, and that's really been a lot of fun. It's brought me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
And I'm writing this play that I'm already getting a little skeptical on. I'm about 75% of the way done.
Wow, that's impressive.
But I haven't been on it for a while. So this is my calling myself out that I'm gonna work on that for my 4th hour this week. Is the unfinished play. Yeah.
It's not. I mean, this check-in call-in is 4 hours a week, and the networking sheet. I mean, these are things that we do because we need to check in. We need to make sure that things are getting done. I have an audition tomorrow for something, and I have to block out the time to do it, but it's a captain of a boat, so I have to like set things up and do it. So we have to make time for our art, and we have to set up the structure so that we can do it. Right. And that's the whole game. And that's the whole difference between being, I wish, I hope I could get a job, please, and being a working actor. That's the whole difference.
Yeah.
Cool. Enough of a spiel from me. Lev, it has been great to see you. We talk all the time, but it is great to see you. Thank you for joining us and sharing your journey these days. Caroline, anything we should be taking out on? Or I think we got it.
Yeah, I think. I was going to ask you, Lev, if you've been jumping onto TikTok with those little things that you're filming. I just want your opinion. No TikTok pressure coming from me. None. I'm just curious.
I downloaded it, and then I felt like such an old person. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And I deleted it. But my sister-in-law actually was telling, or my brother's wife, I guess it's my sister-in-law. She runs her own company, and she's big on social media. So she was telling me how much she loves TikTok. So I think it could be useful if I just sit with it and get comfortable with it. I'm more of an Instagram guy.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
But you gotta stay current with what the kids are doing, and they're doing that. So
and the kids are getting careers out of that. The kids are not just posting videos that are fun that make them happy. Kids are blowing up and making that money.
They're getting agents off of this. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's why it's so easy for something to take off there. But I don't love the interface as much either. I think people our age are like, your brain has to work differently. But yeah, it just seems so easy for something to just go.
Spend more time getting comfortable with it. But I guess I'm pro TikTok. Go for it.
That can change. No pressure.
Yeah.
All right, Lev. Well, thank you again for joining us. Look forward to being in touch again soon. Caroline, thank you as always. And we'll see everyone next week for the next Business of the Business webinar.